Hey, what's going on everyone? Seth Miranda here for Adorama TV with the new Profoto A2. What is this? Well, I know what you're thinking. It's probably like a speedlight that got rebuilt into a different housing and it's just another light, but it really isn't the case on this one. We've seen other lights out there in this similar form factor, but this is a 100 watt second tiny monolight that does take the Profoto A-series battery. I call it the A-series. It's not officially that, but I call it that because that's what the speedlights are. The A1, A1X, A10, and now you have the A2. This thing is tiny. I'm talking it is smaller than a speedlight in their brand, folded in half. So you're saving bag space and you're also getting a little bump in power being 100 watt seconds. And at 100 watt seconds, you would think if it was just like a bump up on a speed light, it would have some problem with thermals and like that. But I'm not finding that to be the case. It's a little more power than a speed light, but it's designed to be more powerful. It's not like trying too hard. When you hit it at full power, it doesn't feel like it's trying so hard and then it needs to cool down. It's handling all that thermal pretty well from my experience so far today. And because it handles the thermal so well, you don't have to worry about something like a fan kicking on, either being noisy if you don't want it or just having a moving part that could potentially fail at some point, right? There's no vents on this thing. It's all encompassed and able to just handle it. No moving parts, more durability, longer life. And because of this magnetic front and because the actual size is the same, you can use most of the modifiers that click onto the A-series lights, right? The A1, A1X, A10, all that stuff. So you can just pop on the dome if you want to, or some of the other accessories, and there will be a full line of Clic gels, you know, barn doors, all sorts of stuff. Profoto has said they're committed to putting out an entire line of magnetic modifiers for this series of light. Now, a few things to note on this light. One, it's super intuitive to use like the rest of the Profoto system. I think that's like kind of what they're becoming famous for as well, is just how easy it is and how just turn it on and get going you can do with the Profoto system. And this is no different. It matches basically the same as the speedlight menus in the other lights. The other thing is in the front, you have this magnetic front, just like the A1X and the A10 and even the A1 original. It is pretty powerful. So what I was able to do is just snap this onto their Clic Octabox and just go. I didn't have to worry about mounting this onto a stand directly. I mounted the box on and had its own pistol grip to pivot how I needed. And I was worried about like this hanging off of the box, but the magnet was pretty powerful. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. You can see I'm shaking this thing and it was really hard to kind of knock off unless you really wanted to physically pull it off. So I'm with you on that, but I'm a little more calm about it now after trying it out. Here in the street, shooting in the Lower East Side, I called up my girl Arsee, who's got this amazing fire red hair, and we shot against some graffiti. We tried it in the shade, we tried it with some sunlight background and all sorts of situations, just see what's going on with this thing. In high speed sync as well. Check out the flash duration with some hair flips. The other thing is, aside from the magnetic on the front, it's got this lens on. If you note, this lens is really dense and frosted. This is kind of where you get your light quality coming from. So aside from just the efficiency of the light to keep color consistency, I'm talking not just orange, blue, but magenta greens, and your exposure clean, you have this frost that and the lens itself engineered to give you a nice even hit. This is matching more like their other lights, the B10, the B10 Plus, the B10X, the B10X Plus, you know, all the B1Xs. It's similar to that lens as opposed to the lens that you see on the A1, A1X, or A10, which actually kind of has a Fresnel for more of a zoom lens type purposes. That being said, it's a really nice, all packed up, nice and neat, 100 watt second light. You chuck in your bag the size of a lens, put it on a stand, click it into one of their modifiers, which they have a whole line coming out, including an OCF Mark II adapter, so it can handle this and the A1, A1X, and A10 speed lights if you wanted to. And because it's a newer series Profoto light, you have Bluetooth in this thing, so you can do your firmware updates through that, or you could use the USB-C port on the bottom to do a hardwired firmware update if you wanted to. But because it's part of the Bluetooth series kind of thing, it's all working encompassed with the app. So you have all the menus in the app at your fingertips. You want to change the channels, the groups, whatever, you can do that from the app with the Bluetooth on board this, which is what Profoto seems to be moving towards, is like an all Bluetooth type system. So it does seem like they're really fleshing out the system. This does give you an option. And let me tell you something, if you're like me, who uses a ton of speedlights all the time, which you've probably seen all over this channel and on my own personal channel, off camera, right? If you don't need them to be speedlights, meaning on camera, need the trigger part of that light, right? Because it's off camera, it's just got a fire. That's kind of where this is going. You don't need to just keep on getting more and more speedlights if you want a small light. You can just go for this, save a little bit of money and the form factor, right? So think about it that way. I'm probably gonna be looking at a few of these to replace maybe or add to some of the speedlights in my kit, but I'm definitely going to be throwing this in with maybe a B10 or B10 Plus. So if I need an extra light without getting a full-on light, you have this little form factor. It's in your bag and you're ready to go. So that's gonna do for me here with the A2 from Profoto. If you guys have any questions, hit me with a comment down below. I'll do my best to answer it. Don't forget, like, really helps out this channel, and subscribe plus the bell so you get notified when we put out more videos like this. My name's Seth Miranda, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.